Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to Weekly Wisdom and Insights, your home for spiritually guided transformation and empowerment. I am your host, Dearjames, and together with the unseen, Spirit, Source, and Symphony, we look at the current energies, the intuitive wisdom and insights, and we go as guided. And we are in the tail end of the current eclipse corridor. Welcome, Heather. Welcome, Kiki. That will culminate tomorrow, late into the evening on the West Coast, into the 28th of August, going towards the East Coast in Europe and so forth and around the globe. So let's jump into it. There's a lot to get to. Let's just take a quick look at our main energies. We are completing August, which is an 8, which is about uniting, unite. You'll notice we have double 8s, we have double 26s, controlled power, amplify with the creative, initiate, and that treading, cautious advance, the 1 right smack in the middle. As you can see, 8, 26, 1, 26, 8. It's known as a palindrome. And let's just talk about that really quickly here. So a palindrome is when a number, a word, and the like can be read forward and backward in the same way. So in a spiritual context, a palindrome symbolizes symmetry, balance, and the mirror of the universe, of the unseen. So this is the epitome of as above, so below, and how the outer world mirrors our inner spiritual world or spiritual state. It's about divine balance, so the exact forward and backward reflection stands for harmony, equilibrium, and the alignment of opposing forces. It's the cycle of time. Palindromes show that beginnings and endings are connected. They remind you that life moves in circles and every end leads back to a new beginning, to a new start. And it's also about synchronicity and wake-up calls. Seeing a palindrome number or word or so forth is often viewed as a sign from spirit guides or angels to pause, reflect, and stay true to your path. So remember, so we've got this palindrome going on in the numbers. And then it's important to remember this as above, so below, endings and beginnings. And the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces that's coming up, let me just bring up the chart here, that is occurring late tomorrow into the 28th of August, is a culmination point. It's so the new moon total solar eclipse that occurred on the 12th of August began. It's with the South Node in Leo. So Leo is about our life force, our identity, And the South Node in Leo is about the stripping away. We've talked about this, the stripping away of everything that is obstructing your natural light. Welcome, Alicia. And so, and then here comes the culmination point, that renewal point. What's important with this chart, the full moon lunar eclipse, it's happening at 4 degrees of both Virgo, that's where the sun is, and then the moon is directly opposite in Pisces. So the lunar eclipse will happen in Pisces. They're both at 4 degrees. 4 is foundational. And then you see the large red triangle in the center of the screen, in the circle of the astrology chart, pardon me. At the very top is Uranus. So both the sun and the moon are each simultaneously squaring, and the square is a frictional aspect. It means pent-up energies, things that need to be released. They are both squaring Uranus at 5 degrees Gemini. This creates what's known as a mutable T-square. And Mercury, just before this lunation occurs, is going to have its cazimi. So Mercury will be in the heart of the sun just before this full moon lunar eclipse. Mercury is how we think, communicate, the words, the things that we convey. That's all being reborn, burned away. So a death and rebirth right before this culmination point. And Uranus is sitting at the apex of this T-square that's going to happen. Well, what does that mean? So, of course, Uranus, higher mind, expect the unexpected, these different aspects and events. But here's an excerpt from Pam Youngin's North Point Journal, and she speaks to the Uranus influence. Astrologers consider eclipses to be Uranian in nature, since they often coincide with the types of unexpected events and sudden changes that we associate with the sideways spinning planet. With the sun and moon tightly square, Uranus in Gemini, at the time of this week's lunar eclipse, that Uranian influence will be even more emphasized. It's going to be even more pronounced. All of this, expect the unexpected. And remember, the energies of the eclipse corridor and these eclipses, it arcs out for 3 to 6 months on either side. It can be 3 months before, 3 months after, a full 6 months before or after. It's this kind of effect. Surprising news. This is Pam Youngin's North Point Journal. Surprising news, changes of perspective, radical ideas, life-changing insights, and even spiritual awakenings. Keep that in mind. Spiritual awakenings are all possible with this lunar eclipse. Mercury is strongly involved in the eclipse energies, being within 1 degree of the sun. So we may experience information overload or perhaps be confused about what is real. What is real? Spiritual awakenings. It's the alignment of the sun, the earth, and the moon, and where the earth moves in between the sun, the life force, and the moon, our emotions, our intuition, our connection to a higher power. And it eclipses that light so that it is, in essence, death, extinguished. It's metaphorical, extinguished, and reborn all within a few hours. So what normally takes 29 and a half days for the for the moon to go through its cycle, it's going to be eclipsed, and this is 96% of the moon will be eclipsed. So what normally takes 29 and a half days will happen in 3-ish hours. This death and rebirth. And so keep in mind, spiritual awakenings are a possibility of this eclipse coming up in Pisces. And Pisces, our intuition, our knowing, it's the culmination of the astrological wheel. And this possible confusion about what's real and how it may happen at night or overnight as this occurs. So let's jump into our main, and before we do that, before we go to our main theme, let's look at the astrological influences, because when I looked at the chart, I heard 2 things. Rock the CASBAH, and then a combination of clarity returns and a return to clarity. So the thing first that's important, and they emphasize, the unseen emphasize the fact this, a return to clarity. That statement means that clarity was always present. It never left us. It's we the people, individual, 8 billion plus souls on the planet, that leave clarity behind. In essence, we kind of toss it aside. We diminish the clarity. We get caught up in the chaos and the confusion, the illusion, the delusion. But clarity remained present all the time. So this is a return to clarity. Spiritual clarity is the inner state of pure awareness, free from ego, confusion, and emotional noise. It is the sacred realization of truth, where your mind is quiet, your soul is anchored, and you can clearly see your divine path and true self. So this is when the ego, mind, personality, human walks away from clarity. It's a return to clarity. We're coming back to a place of clarity, and South Node in Leo, that's stripping away of the masks, the identities, the labels, the stories, the scripts, all the belongings, the trappings, all of this stuff that corrodes, erodes, covers up our light, our purity, who we are at our center. That which is clear. It's pure. It's clear. In the Bible, spiritual clarity is the divine gift of perceiving God's truth, the divine's truth, recognizing divine will and distinguishing right from wrong. It cuts through human confusion, replacing worldly doubt with heavenly wisdom and a straight path forward. It's a clear way. It's clear. It's no longer confusing or muddled or corrupted. Core meanings of clarity is, this is a fun word, the perspicuity of Scripture. I had to practice that one. Bear with me. The foundational teaching that the divine's core message is clear. The Bible is written so that ordinary lay people can understand its essential truths for salvation and living. It's about divine illumination. The Holy Spirit opens the eyes of believers to understand spiritual realities, spiritual truth. This isn't a religious statement. It is a spiritual statement. It is a universal spiritual truth. Religion happens to be a vehicle that can convey that message, just as spirituality does, just as what we're doing right now. So it's about how the Holy Spirit opens the eyes of believers to understand spiritual realities. Human effort alone cannot achieve this. The divine must lift the veil from the heart. It's always an inside job. And the moral and spiritual discernment. Clarity provides the ability to separate truth from deception, good from evil. It prevents a double-minded lifestyle. So where we've walked away from clarity, we return to clarity. We come back to it. And there's key biblical principles are about guidance and direction. So in Proverbs 3:5-6, promises that trusting the divine instead of your own logic leads straight paths and clear direction. So this is listening to your soul source connection to the divine, the unseen, to God, the all that is, source, for a clear way forward. It's about renewal of the mind. In Romans 12:2, it explains that refusing to copy worldly behavior transforms your mind, allowing you to test and approve the divine's good and perfect will. And it's asking for wisdom. In James 1:5, it states that anyone who lacks wisdom can ask God, ask the divine, who gives it generously without finding fault. No judgment. So this is always a return to clarity. Is this eclipse coming up in Pisces, this full moon lunar eclipse? Is this return to clarity? And then it's also rock the CASBAH. So Rock the Casbah by the group, the band The Clash, carries a deep spiritual message about the unstoppable power of human freedom, joy, and self-expression against oppressive control. There's a massive moment, the ending of the Piscean patriarchal era, and this just overwhelming attempt to control, to oppress, to harm, to stop time. But it's impossible, as we're talking about as above, that palindrome, as above, so below. Well, all the major planets have shifted. Everything is moving forward to a new era. Matriarchal, Aquarian. We, not I. Core spiritual themes of Rock the Casbah. It's joy as resistance. The song treats music and dancing as a sacred life force. Totalitarian control tries to strip humanity of joy, but the spirit of celebration survives. The spirit within us is the most powerful force on earth, with earth as in human form. Why? Because it originates from the divine. Heaven on earth. This soul source connection. That supersedes. So while someone may try to oppress, suppress, malign, all of these things, stop time, the human spirit is the most resilient. The human spirit shifts the balance of energy, of trajectory, because it's in alignment with true north, with the unseen. It's about breaking rigid dogma. So Rock the Casbah, the Sharif or king in the song represents rigid, lifeless authority and fear-based control. Rocking the Casbah is a metaphor for shattering spiritual and mental cages. Religious dogma, things that people want to, old systems that are collapsing and crumbling. It's the collapsing of the illusion. So it's the shattering of those old paradigms, those cages. And they're showing me, the unseen is showing me, remember, when we sit in an open cell and the door is wide open, there's bars, there's gaps between the bars. There's wide open. We hold the keys. Within us is the key to our liberation, our freedom. We only need to choose it. And lastly, the awakening of the enforcer. When the military pilots in the song and in the video refuse to drop bombs and instead play rock music on their radios, it symbolizes a spiritual awakening. Even those assigned to enforce tyranny are eventually swayed by the beauty of human expression. So even those that are tasked, military, police, law enforcement, at some point, there's an awakening that says, this isn't what I want. This isn't who we are. This isn't where we're going. And that spiritual awakening sways them to the beauty of humanity, to the beauty of the unseen, what's within us. And it shifts the trajectory. So we have Rock the Casbah, a return to clarity. Clarity returns and a return to clarity. And then our main theme. Our main theme is the message arrives. This has to do with the Eight of Wands. So the message arrives, a clear path -way forward. You notice the moon is illuminating the sky. There are birds. Birds are representative of spirit, of messages from the other side, from the unseen. So the message arrives, a clear pathway forward. So let's go to the message arrives. When a spiritual message arrives, it signifies a moment of divine alignment, sudden clarity, or a breakthrough from the universe, from the unseen. It serves as a bridge between your conscious mind and a higher realm, offering guidance, validation, or a gentle course correction during your life's journey. This aspect that it serves as a bridge is also very important, because that T-square that's occurring in the chart. I'm just going to bring it back up here really quickly. That red triangle is a T-square. It's happening in mutable signs. The mutable signs denote the end of seasons. They are also a bridge. So they bridge from one season to the next. And so this Pisces full moon lunar eclipse with this T-square and mutable signs is acting as a bridge from the ending to the beginning. Just as the message arrives is a bridge between your conscious mind and a higher realm, offering guidance, validation, divine wisdom. And then it goes on, it's divine validation, confirmation that you are moving in the right direction or that your recent prayers and reflections have been heard, a shift in awareness, an abrupt awakening or sudden intuitive knowing that cuts through the confusion, a return to clarity with absolute peace, absolute knowing, cosmic timing, proof that an invisible shift is happening in your favor, bringing an end to a long period of waiting, or I like the word awaiting. Awaiting is active. How the messages manifest, sudden insights, fully formed ideas, knowings, or realizations that drop into your mind instantly, unlike your usual step-by-step thinking. Synchronicities. It can be repeated numbers, the palindromes, meaningful coincidences, calls from, out thinking of someone and you receive a text, an email, a phone call, animal encounters. So how we use the spiritual animal medicine and so forth, like cardinals or hawks. Well, there we have it in our these beautiful ravens, hawks, delivering messages, representing the night. Physical sensations. It can be sudden warmth, chills, or an overwhelming wave of unexpected calm. So we have this spiritual messages, the message arrives. 8 of Wands. Let me go to that because this is going to tie in to how the messages may come. Notice in this image of the 8 of Wands, there are 8 wands that are alive. They're lit up. In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, they are wands that have new growth, like leaves, so they're alive. The 8 of Wands denotes swift-moving information, activity. In this particular, in the Wizard's Tarot, it is a night scene, and you see in the background that the moon is eclipsed. There is these fast-moving communication, wisdom, messages at night, occurring overnight. And we'll repeat this, but there was this, I saw this post on social media and it was perfect. And it said, God can change things in one night. So the divine can change things in one night. So the 8 of Wands, no more delays, no more circling the runway. The 8 of Wands is your signal that things are finally moving and fast. This card is all velocity, no hesitation. Whether it's news, decisions, energy, or emotions, something's coming in hot, fast. Eclipse, Uranian, Uranus at the top of the T-square. The momentum you have been waiting for, it's here. And this is from tarot.com, 8 of Wands. This isn't the time to second guess, it's the time to go. Upright, which it is, the 8 of Wands brings rapid developments, green lights, and clear signals. Projects take off, communication flows, and that stuck feeling starts to dissolve. It's a rush of clarity and progress at long last. Expect swift outcomes, quick decisions, or even an exciting surprise, Uranus. Just stay present. When life moves this fast, it's easy to miss the magic. So this is to stay grounded, stay aware, stay conscious. Recognize that, again, in your dream state, you can awaken with a complete knowing. You might be awakened in the middle of the night with a complete knowing. The message arrives. A clear path-way forward. So Eight of Wands. In the most traditional decks, the Eight of Wands is one of the few tarot cards without a single person in sight. And that's the point. It's all motion, no distraction. 8 wands fly diagonally through a clear sky. In this instance, a clear night sky. Often above an open landscape or river, symbolizing fast progress, clear direction, and momentum that can't and won't be stopped. The lack of obstacles, that's a visual green light. Whatever's in motion is moving smoothly. The river below often hints at flow and emotional alignment, while the slant of the wands shows purpose and trajectory. This card's symbolism is simple but striking. No delays, no drama, just go. And so this beautiful, just bringing it up again, 8 of Wands. The wands are coming through at night, the eclipse, overnight. So over the night of the 27th, the 28th, this can play out again for some time. But the point is that these messages may come at night in your sleeping state. So now let's move to a clear path and way forward. So a clear path and way forward spiritually means that past confusion, heavy blocks, and heavy doubts are fading away. Divine guidance or inner wisdom is smoothing your route. This sign tells you that the time for waiting is over. You can move ahead with trust and peace in your heart. This is how the 8 of Wands is going to deliver this clarity, this divine alignment, a clear pathway forward. Core spiritual meanings include divine alignment. Your choices and actions now match your true higher purpose. We're stripping away everything that's false, inauthentic, and it's now in complete alignment with your higher purpose. It's about removing obstacles, hard blocks, or toxic cycles in your life are breaking down and lifting. Restored inner peace. Mental fog gives way to a quiet knowing, a heart that trusts the next step. And it's active faith. That's that awaiting. It's active. The universe, the unseen, supports your movement. However, you must still take the physical steps to move forward, to align. When you know what to do it. Go. These are green. This is a green light to go. It's in alignment. When you know not to do something, heed the message. Listen. How to respond. Walk without fear. Do not look back at old worries or past failures that are already behind you. Remember, allow your life experiences to refine you, not define you. So do not look back. Remember that when the door opens, walk through it and do not look back. Don't worry about the past. Stay in the present future. Stay present. Focus only on the task or step right in front of you and align your feet today, in this moment. What's the next step? What's the next step? And do it. And then listen quietly. Spend time in stillness to keep your inner compass tuned to this new direction. This is exercising the soul. This is fine-tuning the radio, the signal, the channel, so that your soul source connection, when your soul speaks, you hear it loud and clear. It supersedes all of the monkey mind, the chatter, the fear, the anxiety. That's ego. Source, the divine, the all that is, that's soul. That's soul source connection. So the message arrives, a clear path and way forward, the 8 of Wands, this fast-moving communication, these green lights, and how that spiritual awareness and awakening will most likely come at night. Want to go to hexagram 50, which is the cauldron. And this is the cauldron from tarot.com. The cauldron symbolizes nourishment and rejuvenation. Our first quote, sooner or later, good comes to those who do good. Our second quote, Joy comes to those who bring joy to others. And finally, our third quote, and opportunity comes to those who persist in their dreams. Rejuvenation is a returning to one's natural desires and the recharging of batteries that comes from making progress towards one's aspirations. This is coming home to your soul. This reading suggests nourishment and transformation for people of goodwill. Good fortune and success are indicated here. Healthy, regular sustenance is vitally important, as symbolized by the cooking pot, which provides nourishment to all. And I just want to bring up this, as I forgot, hexagram 50, the cauldron, this beautiful image of the cooking pot, which provides nourishment to all. When the cycle of humanity reaches its apex, each person's sustenance comes in the form of fulfilling his or her deepest needs and desires. Rejuvenation means that people in honorable pursuit of their dreams are properly nourished and valued. When society is functioning properly, such people are supported and encouraged to contribute to their best abilities. So when things are in harmony and balance, there's clarity, there's a return to clarity, a spiritual awakening, messages that come in the night. God can change things in one night, in an instant. When those things are happening, when society is functioning properly, such people are supported and encouraged. This means we're supported and encouraged to be who we are at our center. And from there, we thrive. We've been in a place where that system, that truth, the purity of that truth was corrupted over time. And we moved so far away from it, and we're at the height of that corruption, the height of the deconstruction, the collapsing of it. To give way, make way, we're in that bridge of the new. A fresh approach to old habits is indicated. Look for ways of putting new life into old forms. Only when great vitality is present can real breakthroughs be achieved. So this is again that the surrender to the soul. Align, listen. Watch how this eclipse corridor, these two eclipses, and the releasing, the shedding of the old identities, the old ways, the deconstruction of the past, makes way for, and this beautiful nourishment, this cooking pot. And notice, the fires, the flames, and the evening sky above, and how the beauty of this cooking pot, the cauldron, nourishes and replenishes our souls, our lives, our vitality, our societies, our way of being. That's what's on offer. Now, number one from the unseen, and this is something that's very, very, very interesting in the numbers. August 28th, 2026. That's when the full moon lunar eclipse is occurring. This T-square immutable signs. Fast-moving energy, Uranian energy. The thing that's fascinating about it is the numbers. 8/28/2026 is a 10-10-10. Tens denote new beginnings. This is a 10-year. The day that it occurs, 28, is a 10. And when you add 8/28/2026 altogether, it becomes a 28 that becomes a 10. These triple tens, triple new beginnings, endings, the completion, and a new beginning. So they said 10-10-10. There's never been, quote, a greater new beginning. And then the lyrics, I can feel it coming in the air tonight, O Lord. So again, what's coming at night? What's occurring? What happens overnight? What happens during this eclipse? 10-10-10 is a powerful spiritual sign blending the energies of the numbers 1, new starts, action and creation, and 0, infinite potential, wholeness, and divine flow. Seeing this repeating sequence means you are entering a major cycle of personal growth, spiritual awakening, and positive transformation. Core spiritual meanings are a spiritual awakening. Your awareness grows. You are aligning closely with your higher self and the unseen universal energy. New beginnings. Old phases or hard cycles are ending. Fresh paths and fresh starts are opening up for you. Manifestation power. Your thoughts and intentions hold strong energy now. What you focus on can literally turn into your reality. Be mindful of your thoughts. Everything and anything is possible. You are more than worthy. You already have everything you need. And it's a simple act of spiritual truth, spiritual alignment, spiritual allowing. And it's about divine support. The number 0 acts as an amplifier. It shows you are guided and protected by higher forces on your journey. Your soul source connection, the unseen, your soul. What should you do? Stay positive. Keep your thoughts focused on your goals instead of your fears. Trust the process. Let go of past mistakes or guilt. Have faith in where your path is heading. And take action. Step forward with confidence to build the life you want. This is that beautiful an acknowledgement where you see these numbers, a clock, a license plate. If you see 10-10, 10-10-10, the number 10, recognize it. Stop just for a second and go, new beginnings, endings, new beginnings, opportunity. And I'm to align with this energy. So 10-10-10 is number 1, 10-10-10. There's never been a greater new beginning. I can feel it coming in the air tonight, O Lord. Number 2, from the unseen, a total eclipse of the heart. This was from, Astro Butterfly covered this for the solar eclipse in Leo, and we covered that in last week's show. So a total eclipse of the heart. And they said, the unseen said, an erasing of the past acts, past deeds, past thoughts. So see, it's not about our past. It's about the present future. It's about what is eclipsed out for us to move forward. This renewal, this rebirth. The messages from the divine, the message arrives. The birds, the symbolism of the birds representing spirit, the moon, intuition, knowing, it occurring at night. The 8 of Wands, these arrows, these alive arrows representing truth and wisdom and messages with unobstructed clarity reaching us. Nothing prevents them from arriving. Okay, now, so a total eclipse of the heart, an erasing of the past. Spiritually, an erasing of the past means releasing the heavy weight of old choices, guilt, and identity. That's that South Node in Leo, stripping it all away, so you can experience a fresh spiritual rebirth. We are not our experiences. We are the custodian of them. So again, don't allow your past to define you. Allow it to refine you. It's the honing and polishing of the stone. It's about divine forgiveness and grace. Many traditions view erasing the past as a symbol of God's mercy, the divine's mercy. Mistakes are wiped clean like a slate or a page, freeing you from shame. Shedding the ego self. Spiritual awakening requires letting go of old habits, comfort zones, and stories tied to your pain. You must die to your old identity, that's symbolically, metaphorically, to step into a higher state of awareness. And lastly, it's transformation versus literal erasure. True healing is rarely about pretending the past never happened. Instead, it means changing your relationship with your history, transforming old regrets and negative actions into wisdom and strength. It's about seeing below the surface. It's about letting it all go, not burying our head in the sand, not saying it didn't happen, but simply allowing a deeper truth, a deeper clarity to come to the surface. Because what's on the surface is superficial. It's on the surface. It's what's buried deep within. That is the pearl in the oyster. So a total eclipse of the heart, this wiping away of the past, the South Node in Leo, this burning away of everything that is inauthentic, false, made up, so that the true authenticity, the purity of the soul comes forward. The unseen number 3, they said, I once was lost, but now am found. It's part of the hymn from Amazing Grace. So I once was lost, but now am found. And then I heard the word, and it's our key word, redemption. So I once was lost, but now am found. And the word redemption. The redemption means the act of saving, freeing, or buying back something or someone from a state of debt, sin, or evil. It comes from a Latin word meaning to buy back or to ransom, regaining or restoring something that was lost. Spiritual redemption means being saved, rescued, or bought back from a state of sin, guilt, or spiritual death. It is the process of being restored to a right relationship with the divine, freed from the power of darkness, often through an act of divine grace or supreme sacrifice. And of course, in the image for our key word is this beautiful image of Master Jesus, the sun illuminated as a cross, a starburst in the background, and this supreme sacrifice, this divine grace, this redemption, this offering, epic offering. Again, this is not a religious statement, it is a spiritual, universal truth. Rescuing, so core concepts of redemption are rescuing a captive. It's moving from spiritual slavery or bondage into freedom. It's about paying a price, recovering what was lost through a ransom or substitutionary act. It's restoration, returning to your rightful place or oneness with the divine. And it's forgiveness. It's clearing past moral debts and guilt through mercy. There are phases in the spiritual journey. The first is freedom from past guilt, knowing your past choices do not define or trap you forever. The second is new purpose, shifting focus from selfish desires to meaningful relationships and values, from the I to the we. And lastly, inner transformation, changing day by day to resist old habits and live a healthy spiritual life. This is walking the walk, aligning, releasing all of that old past goo that has corrupted your purity, your light, to release that. I once was lost, but now am found. And there's something and then redemption. So there's something from the unseen here that's very, again, those very actionary, fait accompli energies that are present here. Like this is a done deal. This isn't a maybe it'll happen, or, maybe it's a suggestion, or this is fait accompli energy. We were lost. We've been lost. Now we're found. Clarity, a return to clarity. We return to clarity. We come to this place of inner knowing. And all that was before, all purposeful, all necessary, all a part of our paths and our journey, However, it doesn't define us. It is burned away so that we begin anew. That beautiful, like the snake shedding its skin. And once they've done that, when you see a snake after it's shed its skin, it looks like it's just been born. Brand new. That's this beauty. Welcome, Colleen. Let me jump really quickly. I want to go to Chani Nicholas, the astrologer, and this is from the weekly issue number 129. It's the end of an era. Reality is buffering. Please stand by. This week's lunar eclipse in Pisces is the grand finale of a story that's been unfolding since September of 2024. And it isn't ending quietly. When the Earth's shadow sweeps across the moon on August 27th/28th, it will make the moon's surface appear eerily red. And that's the vibe. Eclipses represent a breach in the natural order, a glitch in the matrix. And just hours before this particular eclipse, Mercury, the messenger planet, conjoins the sun in its home sign of Virgo and forms a cazimi, also known as a potent new beginning that brings clarity, which is guaranteed to supercharge our communications. Eight of Wands, flying, fast-moving communication. Because this cazimi is happening in a square, frictional aspect to Uranus, the planet of disruption, expect the unexpected, it's a bit of a double whammy. Pair it with the eclipse, and we can expect sudden shifts, surprise endings, and game-changing information. If an insight clicks and makes everything make sense, know that you don't have to do anything just yet. Eclipses aren't the easiest times to make moves, if you can help it. If you know to go, go. If you have a day or two or whatever, a little bit of space and time and you understand that, then listen to that, heed that call. Let the dust settle before you completely rewrite the script. There's going to be a lot of information coming in. It can feel, to Pam Youngin's point, is this real? Is this really real? Is this mine? Is this awareness? All of these things are on tap, occurring in the night, overnight, in the night. You'll receive these. That Sun-Mercury cazimi that Chani Nicholas is talking about, it occurs at 10:10 a.m. Pacific time. Divine downloads are en route. That's the Eight of Wands. Stay tuned for resonant messages, revelations, and synchronicities. These are unexpected, again, emails, calls, texts, synchronicities, dream state, knowings, all coming, all expected, unexpected, expected. They're expected on a soul level. For us humans, they're unexpected because we're unaware that they're going to occur. But it's also this game-changing, glitch in the system that resets everything. And all of a sudden, we're on a whole new path, new trajectory, new. All these knowings that come to the fore. And where I once was lost, but now am found. So where we've been trying to put, like round peg and square hole, old things not working, old ways, old thoughts. Like I used to be able to do this in my sleep. It worked perfectly fine and wonderful. I was great at it. And all of those things haven't been working because that old system is deconstructing. It's finished. It's over. We then up level, octaves change. We're going up an octave. And we must then be open to receive the new. How does it work in the new? Aquarian, matriarchal, we era. The old way doesn't work. It's done. It had its day and time. What's before us is this golden age, this golden era. Colleen is saying, yep, that's me. Exactly. This is where we all are finding ourselves. And to whatever degree, and the more conscious you are of what's occurring, the harder it can be because you're aware of it. You're very aware of what's not working, what's over, what's done, relationships, careers, different types of things, all coming to an end, a conclusion, right? Why? Because it's our mantra, the light eclipses my shadow. There's an ending and a beginning. The light eclipses my shadow. So everything that my ego, mind, personality, human is fearing is going to be eclipsed. The light eclipses my shadow spiritually symbolizes a profound inner awakening where your higher awareness, truth, and divine essence completely outshine, absorb, and transform your past fears, ego, and hidden wounds. This is the triumph of awareness. Just as a celestial alignment places the brilliant sun or returning light past the dark obscuration, your conscious spiritual growth overpowers unconscious habits. It's integration, not eradication. True spiritual light does not destroy the shadow. It illuminates it. When light eclipses the shadow, your dark spots are integrated into wholeness rather than pushed away or denied. And it's a cosmic reset. Borrowing from eclipse symbolism, this phase represents a sudden internal shift or graduation where old karmic patterns end and your higher self takes the lead. This is where the soul takes the lead. And so key themes of this transition: illumination of hidden truths, stepping into personal power, embracing duality. All of these are on offer. All of these come to the fore. And Colleen is saying, why is it that some people seem to be okay while others get blown up? And okay, so the level of consciousness. Well, because again, it's not that we're being blown up. Yes, that's what it feels like, right? Like our worlds are just being blown up. Like everything we knew, or the people, the places, the things that we would have gone to, finished, complete, gone, transitioned, not here, whatever it may be. Because remember that statement about the only way to is through. It is number 5, denoting change. Number 5 from the unseen. The only way to is through. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So we can't go backwards. As above, so below. That palindrome. We can't go backwards. We're seeing on the world stage how the certain powers that be are, they're just wailing and flailing and being as, awful as possible in this human, futile attempt to stop time, to go backwards. You can't. The divine, the unseen, the all that is ascending, is evolving, is up-leveling, is upreaching, is delivering redemption, delivering us to a higher octave of beingness, of existence, of opportunity. And so with masterful precision, the old is eclipsed out. The old is closed off. It's a road you can't access. That is painful to the human because it's what the ego mind personality human knows. Oh, I know how to do this. I know this way, this route. I understand. I'm brilliant at it. I'm so good at it. This worked for me all this time. And all of a sudden it's over. It's blown up. So that the only way forward is forward. It's a new way. It's a clear path and way forward. The messages will arrive. They will come. You will know what to do. Your soul already knows the truth. Your soul already knows this path, this way. It knows exactly what it's doing. So it's about allowing the human to take a big, deep breath and exhale and trust that divine knowing, that divine alignment. The light will eclipse my shadow. It will. The shadow will not, will no longer lead. It's purposeful. We're not here to eradicate it, kill it. We're here to integrate it. We're here to harness the best of it into the light. And that's why we have this duality, this ability to see both and to choose a higher octave. So number 5 from the unseen, the only way to is through. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And this is where the Uranus factor that Pam Youngans, the astrologer Pam Youngans, was speaking to, this Uranus effect, because of course, the sun conjunct Mercury in Virgo is opposing the moon, that creates the full moon in Pisces. The sun and Mercury are squaring Uranus. The moon is squaring Uranus. That creates that mutable T-square, that bridge from the ending of seasons, the ending to the beginning, to that renewal. Number 4 from the unseen, a blank slate, a blank page to begin. There was a great emphasis from the unseen with the word begin. It was underlined, like the unseen was really making it prominent. So a blank slate, a blank page to begin anew. And then they said, which they've given us many times, the lyrics, ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. This is soul source connection, original intelligence, that which is within us, our divine nature, knowing ability. So we have as number 4, the lunar eclipse, the new moon, the full moon is at 4 degrees. This is happening at 4 degrees. It's foundational. Number 4 is this blank slate. And what was very interesting, a blank slate, a blank page to begin anew. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. We began 2026. So season 5, episode 7, 1/7, on 1/7/26, we began 2026. A blank slate, out with the old, in with the new, is the title of that episode. Well, here we are. Here we are. A blank slate, out with the old, in with the new. We have this ability to reinvent, reorchestrate, and not inauthentically, not because we're afraid of our past, or we don't like our past, or we're trying to hide our past, or none of that. None of that. It's about the illumination of that, the integration of that, the up-leveling that allows us to earnestly, authentically, purely begin anew, because there's redemption involved. The key word, redemption. There's redemption involved. There's an earnest knowing on behalf of the divine, the unseen, God, Allah, Buddha, the all that is, the purity of our nature, our divine essence, that says, I so badly want this for you, and therefore it is. It's not if it's going to happen. It's not a nice idea or suggestion. This is where all of this very firm, actionary energy is making it known this is happening because I so want it for you. It is. It's a done deal. So don't look back. Don't try to recapture something. Look forward. Move forward. Be in alignment with your soul source connection. See it, because the light eclipses my shadow. There's a return to clarity, and this beautiful, a clear pathway forward. The messages arrive, and these 10-10-10. So things could happen in triple. There's the additional Sun Mercury at 10-10 Pacific. There's a lot of new energy, new beginnings, new opportunities. You want to be focused forward, open to receive, ready to go, take flight, do what you know to do as it occurs. You do not want to be sitting there saying, oh, well, and then all of a sudden the opportunity passes you by. You don't want to find yourself in that place. Because as we've talked about the golden ticket train, just going to bring that up really quickly. That train is leaving. It's left the station. It's on its way. It's going places. The old train has come in. It's done. It's over. We all have a golden ticket. Do you choose to use it? New adventure awaits. Are you using it? This is what's on tap here. This is where we find ourselves. Now let me go to astrobutterfly.com. Speaking about lunar eclipse in Pisces, come hell or high water. See, this is what this firm actionary energy. This isn't possibility or maybe or the divine, the unseen going, well, I don't know, maybe we'll do it. Come hell or high water. This is happening. It's active, affirmative energy, force, nature, fait accompli. So, astrobutterfly.com, lunar eclipse in Pisces, come hell or high water. On August 27th, 28th, we have a full moon and lunar eclipse at 4 degrees Pisces. This is, quote, stage 2 of the August eclipse season, which began with the total solar eclipse in Leo on August 12th. This means that whatever we set into motion 2 weeks prior now starts showing us where it is going. If the solar south node eclipse was about letting go of identifications, of identities that are no longer working, this lunar eclipse, a north node eclipse, where humanity's going, is about stepping into something new. 10, 10, 10. The solar eclipse was trine Saturn. Trine is a harmonious aspect in astrology. Saturn was there holding our hand and giving the transition some structure. The lunar eclipse in Pisces is square Uranus and trine Mars. That's a totally different energy. It's unexpected, volatile, and pushes us out of the old trajectory into action. At the lunar eclipse, something that is still vague, uncertain, or developing can no longer be ignored. There's this statement of, oh, this is where life might actually be taking me. This return to clarity, that awakening, the messages coming in, the spiritual awakening, the like, oh, this is where life is actually taking me. Not where my human is telling me, not where I'm trying to get to something I know, but to something completely unexpected. Your soul will know it. Now, again, will the human, maybe ego, mind, personality, human, be a little bit, nervous or pensive or whatever, or unsure? Possibly, most likely. However, there'll be a deep knowing of like, okay, now I see it. I can see clearly now the rain has gone from last week. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. The original, authentic truth, the purity of it, the knowing of it. Boop. It lands. Remember, what was that? It lands on our doorstep. A cosmic shakeup lands on your doorstep. Upside down, right side up. Shake, rattle, and roll. That was number 2 from last week. How all of this will just be, it's unexpected. So, and this breakthrough of that, oh, this is this. So continuing with astrobutterfly.com. At the lunar eclipse in Pisces, the consequences of whatever was set into motion become visible. That's the full moon. In a surprising form, square Uranus. The most striking signature of this eclipse is its exact square to Uranus and exact opposition to Mercury. This configuration doesn't just bring unexpected events, it breaks the existing circuitry. This is what Channing Nicholas was talking about, that system interrupted. So it breaks the existing circuitry. Something we haven't considered, a piece of information, a realization, or an understanding that changes the entire equation can completely blow our mind and set us moving in a direction we simply did not see coming. Or, if we did see it, it will happen much faster or in a completely different way than we ever imagined. And there is something about Uranus disrupting our usual sense of reality that speaks directly to Pisces. The willingness to move beyond certainty, control, and what the rational mind can verify. Because ultimately, this is a Pisces eclipse, and Pisces is about surrender. Surrender does not mean simply hoping for the best, and surrender doesn't mean giving up. Surrender means surrendering to your soul, to the authenticity of your soul, allowing your soul source connection to lead. That's what surrender means. Yes, literally surrender can mean to give up, but that's not what the unseen is talking about here. To surrender is to surrender to your soul, to your divine nature, allowing your human, your ego, mind, personality human, to be in alignment, in concert with, in service to your soul. We cannot surrender to something that's a sure thing. This is astrobutterfly.com. When the outcome is known, or at least anticipated, there's no real risk, and therefore no real surrender. Surrender is not even acting on the belief that the universe has our back, the unseen. Surrender is about being willing to enter the unknown without that certainty. It's the act of jumping off the cliff, it's the Fool in the Tarot, of stepping into the void when there is nothing known on the other side. At the lunar eclipse in Pisces, we will be asked to jump, to go. Eight of Wands, go. This is a North Node eclipse, and this is what North Node eclipses do. They push us outside our comfort zone into the unknown. And one can say, we're already kind of flailing because the end, all of these things that I've known are ending, over, people gone, not available to me anymore. I'm already in the unknown. And here comes the culmination, the finality. But that finality, that intensity, redeems, delivers, advances us. Uranus squaring the eclipse breaks the existing coordinates. This is astrobutterfly.com. And when the usual coordinates disappear, something inside of us will turn on. Spiritual awakening, illumination, something comes on. That part of us that comes online when the Saturnian way of living our lives with the tools and the rules no longer cuts it. So see, it's going to override the old system. It's going to override. We've talked about this a lot. There's a whole new way, a whole new world, a whole new operating system. This is going to override the old system. The old way doesn't cut it. The lunar eclipse in Pisces is also trine Mars in Cancer. Without the flow between the moon and Mars in water signs, the Uranus-Mercury energy could turn chaotic and abstract. Thankfully, Mars gives the revelation somewhere to go. So Mars gives this revelation, what was unknown to us becomes known, somewhere to go. We know what to do, a clear path and way forward. An opportunity arises, and we need to make a decision. A disruption generates momentum. If there is one thing we can count on with this eclipse, it's speed. Eight of Wands. Whatever happens, it will happen fast. There's an element of urgency inherent to lunar eclipses that goes beyond the Uranus and Mars aspects. Lunar eclipses are accelerated events by nature. The full moon is overshadowed by the Earth. The moon goes dark and then becomes fully illuminated again within a matter of hours. What normally develops gradually across a 29.5-day lunar cycle now happens within a few-hour window. This means that concrete circumstances, things happening out in the open, Earth shadowing the moon, will make inaction impossible. Come hell or high water, we will have to change course. And there's no map, no instructions, no reassurance that if we follow steps A, B, and C, we will arrive at D. Instead, circumstances themselves become the navigation system. This is how we show up and we take, what do I know? Don't freak out. We don't know what's happening. That's okay. Don't need to know everything. All you need to know is what's the next step? What's the next step? It's the hermit in the tarot. The light in the lantern is the star. The star denotes distance, wish fulfillment, destiny, fated events. That star is in the Hermit's lantern. It's illuminating our next step. It's not a floodlight that shows us everything. It shows us our path, our way. So instead, circumstances, astrobutterfly.com. So instead, circumstances themselves become the navigation system. A door closes, another one unexpectedly opens. A piece of information arrives, and a decision can no longer be postponed. We may not know where all of this is taking us, but one thing is sure. Staying where we are is no longer an option. We are all being moved forward. That may be completely different than where we find ourselves today in this moment. Post-lunar eclipse, pre-lunar eclipse. But there's a knowing to move forward. 10, 10, 10. All these new beginnings. Exactly. Colleen is saying the rebuild after the destruction. Exactly. That is exactly. It's the construction out of the destruction. It is that renewal. And this, as above, so below, these fated events, fated, fait accompli, done deal on behalf of the unseen, the divine, the all that is, that's saying to us, new octave, new operating system, new world, new way of being. The old is done, it's over, it is closed off from you. You cannot reach it. You must not reach it. Because the way to is through. The way to is forward. And what will come of that may be completely unexpected, completely new and different, completely never saw it coming. And yet you will have a deep knowing, an awareness and a knowing that it's true, that it's right, that it's correct. Your ego mind, personality, human, you might have that monkey mind chattering, anxiety, fear, trepidation. That's okay. Don't kill it. Don't kill the ego, the personality, the human, the shadow. Integrate it. That fear is energy. Fear is your friend. Harness any fear you might have. Take a big old gulp and harness that energy to propel you forward, to deliver you, because there's a bridge going on here. All of this beautiful energy, the message arrives, a clear pathway forward. The light eclipses my shadow, our keyword of redemption, and this beautiful truth about sooner or later, good comes to those who do good. Joy comes to those who bring joy to others. And opportunity comes to those who persist in their dreams. Beautiful quotes from tarot.com. This cauldron, it's there for us. It's spiritual in nature. We've got 10, 10, 10. I can feel it coming in the air tonight, O Lord. And this beautiful 8 of Wands, how these messages, this awakening, these awarenesses will come at night, through the night. And ultimately, what do we have? Explosive, advance, action, new. That's where we find ourselves. That's what's on tap. Be gentle and kind with yourselves and with others. These energies are intense. Make no mistake about it. And when you feel afraid, when you feel fear, destabilized, all of these things, because the old you can't access, just reassure yourself. God, the divine, can change things in one night. The unseen, the divine, the all that is, can change things in an instant. And they'll do so for you, for us. Love you all. Thank you so much for your presence, your energy on this beautiful journey we call life, and the weekly wisdom and insights, and just this moment in time that we all decided to show up for. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you next week.